Oh, looky here. Looky here. Looky here.
The flying Molinari brothers have struck at Scottsdale. Bellissima.
That is the sound you heard this morning at the 16th hole, third round of the Phoenix Open. That was Francesco Molinari making a hole-in-one at the most raucous hole in all of golf. Welcome, everyone, to Putts and Pints. I am your host, Colin O'Brien. Today's episode is brought to you by Celtic Golf. Go to CelticGolf.com. They have 25 years in the industry. They're the best in the business at creating golf experiences across the pond. So once again, find them at CelticGolf.com or on Facebook, Celtic Golf, or their Twitter handle at Celtic Golf. The beverage that I'm enjoying for today's installment is a Magic Hat single chair. This is one of my favorite beers of all time. As far as Magic Hat's flagship beer is the number 9. The single chair, though, is a seasonal single chair being named after the ski lift with only one chair on it. And it's one of those things that I look forward to. And if I can find it, it's produced in such low quantities that it's tough to find it unless when I was living in Vermont, you'd go up there to the brewery itself and go fill up your growler, and that was that. So Magic Hat single chair for today's episode. I'm going to have a sip right now. Cheers, everybody. All right. So let's get this underway. Actually, we're going to step away from the world of golf for just a quick second because what the sports world was dominated by, obviously, in the past 2 weeks has been this Deflate-Gate controversy with the New England Patriots. Apparently, in the first half of the AFC Championship game, their footballs were a couple pounds of pressure underneath the legal limit or something along those lines. So I got tired of hearing all about it, and so I actually did call into a radio show, the local radio show, ESPN channel, and just gave my quick thoughts on the whole thing. Two things that need to come out of this. The Colts and anybody who was watching that game should be happy that the balls weren't properly inflated apparently the entire time, because apparently it was the first half, they figured it out, they were properly inflated for the second half. The Patriots scored 17 points in the first half. They scored 28 points in the second half with the legal balls. So, the NFL should be happy that the game wasn't 56-7 if they were playing with a legal ball the entire time. The second thing is, if you don't want this to be a controversy, if you don't want this to be a problem, go back to the way it used to be, where the NFL was in charge of the freaking footballs that they were putting on the field. It wasn't left up to the team and the team equipment manager and the quarterbacks and all that sort of stuff. It's like, ask the quarterback, does he like it more towards 12.5 pounds or 13.5 pounds? We'll leave it at that. Inflate the balls. You're in charge of them. You're the NFL. It's your league. It's your game. That's the simple solution. So, take it for what it is. You changed the rule, I guess, however many years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that, and allowed the teams to have control of it. No need to do that. Just go ahead. You've got referees out there. You've got NFL personnel. You make like $87 billion a year, whatever the hell it is. You can pay somebody to take care of the footballs and make sure that they're legal all the time, and don't leave it up to the teams. Okay? Case closed. But speaking of deflated balls, we're going to move into Tiger Woods' return to professional golf, to the PGA Tour in 2015. And it was at the previously mentioned Phoenix Open. So he gets going on Thursday. Shaky start, not driving the ball well. The short game is not helping him out at all. He starts to rally on the back nine, sticks it to like 7 inches, 6, 7 inches on the 13th hole for a tap-in eagle. drives the 17th, leaves himself a reasonable eagle putt and taps in for birdie. Finishes 2 over for the day, but in the end, the jury was still out as far as, okay, is the short game still kind of an issue here? And now he's complicated it with he's not driving the ball well. I think he only hit 5 out of 14 fairways, something along those lines, and a lot of the misses were a wild miss. It was a one-way miss. Everybody was kind of encouraged by that. It wasn't a two-way miss anymore, but now he's going into round 2, and it's like, can he correct that problem and get himself back on track, put himself in position to play the weekend, all that sort of stuff. So he goes out on Friday and shoots the worst round of golf I've maybe seen a professional ever shoot, because it was the only one that has ever been played that poorly that they captured all of it on camera. Otherwise, if you were playing that badly and you're Joe Schmo Tour Pro, they don't follow you anymore on TV when that happens. They make sure you're not on camera. We saw it all from Tiger on Friday. He shoots an 82 at the TPC of Scottsdale. I'm going to come down a little harsh, even more harshly on him for this one, because the TPC of Scottsdale, no disrespect to it, but that tournament has been won by people shooting, 27 under par for 4 days. It's not a difficult golf course. The first time I played it, it was 115 degrees out. I was not used to that kind of heat. I drank 2 gallons of water while I was out there. I felt like I was going to die. I was really unaccustomed to the whole thing, and I shot even par from the championship tees. So, that you can't go out there and even shoot par, but like he missed it by a mile. An 82, the worst round of his professional career, the worst 2-day total of his professional career. And at the heart of all of it, he was not striking the ball well, which was the really encouraging part on the last time we saw him, was at that Hero World Challenge. But the knock against him at the Hero World Challenge was the short game was abysmal. So what do we want to take from that, as far as it's a month and a half later and he comes and he shows up and he comes to Phoenix, everybody's excited. They get 500,000 people there over the course of the week. That's going to be annihilated because he showed up for the first time in 14 years. He shows up, and his short game, the thing that he was supposed to be reliant on when his game, his ball striking was going awry, and was what he could always rely on, it was worse. I couldn't fathom it, but it was worse. He came out, and it was just, he was sculling them, and when he take out a wedge, he was chunking them. He was putting from off of the green because he couldn't figure out anything else to do, and he wasn't even doing that well. There was nothing going right. He was, he's in bunkers, and he's clipping the ball, and it's rocketing out at the crowd. That happened on the 16th hole. It's like, this is not good. I don't know what's going on here. The Hero World Challenge, as of right now, seems like it was Tiger comeback in disguise. It was really deceptive as far as his swing looked so good. The ball striking was really good compared to what it had been in the past year or two. The speed, the driving distance, it was all looking great. And then, his short game sucked. But that seemed like, as you get the feel back and all that sort of stuff, you're supposed to be able to rely on that. What has he been doing in the last couple of weeks, month and a half, couple of months? What has he been doing? I have no idea, because he went out there and it was worse. Everything was worse. His swing was terrible. His swing didn't look good. The ball striking was terrible. And then he had to get up and down all the time, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't even get close to doing it. So where does this leave us now? It just looks like he is in just such a worse spot than we could have imagined, or than I could have imagined. I was so hopeful for this. I figured he would take what happened at the Hero, take the good, work on what needed to be worked on, and continue to improve, as much as possible. And he showed up in Phoenix, and it was a disaster. It was worse. It wasn't better. It was like exponentially worse. I just can't say it any other way. Obviously, I've said we'll go back and count how many times I said worse, but that's the only word I can come up with. It was just god awful. So he's not playing the weekend. I think as far as I haven't checked, but when he finished his round, there were still a handful of folks. I want to say about 15, 16 golfers or something like that had to finish up their final round. It got called due to darkness on Friday night. But at that point, he was dead last in the field, and he looked like it. He looked like the worst player out there. Not the guy coming back. And then conversely, you look at the other side of the pond there, and over in Dubai, and there's Rory, and he's got a 4-shot lead after 3 rounds. He's at 20 under par, just plodding along, a couple of 66s under his belt so far, just moving right along and looking like the number 1 player in the world. And then Tiger is slipping. He came into this tournament, I believe 47th in the world. He's going to be outside of the top 50. We're really looking at this as, let's say he hadn't won a Masters yet, he wouldn't be qualified for it right now. He hasn't won a tournament. He's not in the top 50. He wouldn't be an automatic invitation right now he's not going to be in the top 50 after this. He's, what's his track record here recently? The PGA Championship, missed the cut. That was the last time he played on the PGA Tour last year before bowing out with injury. The British Open before that, T69. Now he comes into Phoenix, misses another cut. There is nothing going right at this point. Nothing. And I was so hopeful with all of the things that I saw at that Hero World Challenge, that the potential was so there, and that it's sort of that it's really digressed is very it's troubling. And I'd put it out there in the Twitter sphere there. I'd put it out there. Does Tiger win multiple majors this year, or does he get goose egged again? And I was really confident after seeing that it's like, by the time that Masters rolls around in April, if he continued to progress the way it looked like he could have from that Hero World Challenge, if he had progressed from there, now we're really looking at, but that he's gone in the opposite direction, and we're left to wonder now. I'm sitting there. It's like, I'm looking at this guy. It's like, I don't know if this guy's ever going to win a tournament ever again, let alone a major. This is unbelievable. So that all being said, we'll recap what I had for picks this week. So my picks this week were in Group 1, or the A flight, whatever you want to call it. I took Jordan Spieth, and he played with Tiger. Actually, he got paired with Tiger and Patrick Reed in the opening 2 rounds. I really was expecting a little bit more out of him. It seemed like this is the kind of course that he could go out there, he could get it going, and it's a kind of course where you can make a bunch of birdies. And it's also he's a Southwest kind of guy, and it's it's a Southwest venue. I really figured he was a prime choice. And then in Group 2, or the B flight, I took Tiger Woods, because how many times am I going to be able to pick Tiger Woods as a B flight guy? Well, the way he's going right now, it looks like maybe only once, because I'm going to be picking him in the C flight here pretty soon. So obviously he missed the cut. I'm not getting any points for him this week. Moving on to C flight,